planes, load up the bombs, go bomb them because they're against Amran, the Syrian boy. They know. They know they can foment war. They know they can call for people, just normal peace-loving people would call for the dropping of bombs if they felt an injustice was done. And the social engineers and the political psychopaths exploit that. They exploit that natural thing within us that responds to this kind of stuff. That's what makes CNN so insidious. That's what makes MSLSD so evil. That's what makes fake stream, mainstream propaganda so infuriating. Because these people are tapping into natural emotions that we all have. We all have this, even the most base human being has some semblance of justice inside of him, right? And mainstream media, corporate functionaries and oligarchs, and I should say political functionaries know how to tap into that and co-opt it and exploit it. They just get in there and they weasel in, and then they take advantage of it to their own ends, for their own profit, for their own benefit. Keep Bono, who benefits on this kind of stuff? Well, CNN certainly does, because it gets them more ratings if they can strike fear into the hearts of the masses. That's what they want. It's the Hegelian dialectic: problem, reaction, solution. Hey, we got a problem. A little Amran is being bombed. Amran and his family are being bombed. Oh my God, we have to do something. Reaction, fear, outrage, indignation, and rightly so if it was true. But a lot of this stuff is just propagated as fallacy. This fallacy is propagated as truth. And nothing could be further from the truth. So no, that's not Breonna Keeler. I can't remember this chick's name. I don't remember her name. They work for the same network. They're on the same team, reading the same teleprompter from the same corporate oligarchs who are trying to never mind.
As the head of the White House's coronavirus response effort says, the U.S. is keeping a close eye on the impact of Italy's social distancing attempts.
We're looking very closely around the world about specifically Italy right now, because they're reaching their 2 weeks of clear social distancing and looking at the impact. We are seeing the number of deaths starting to decline.
Let me say something real quick about, I'm going to give somebody a shout out that I don't agree with, but I think she did a fantastic job on a video the other day. Amazing Polly. Me and Trish were watching this the other night, and I thought she did a really good job unearthing this thing about Deborah Birx. Let's see, where is it? Virus Task Force. This is the one right here. I'll leave the link in the description right here. Basically, she blows the whistle on, and I think they show the picture right here. Let's see. Let me get this so you can see it. All right, she blows a whistle on Deborah Birx, who's a part of PEPFAR, and I'm just going to leave you and basically Deborah Birx, Vice President Mike Pence. She identifies all these people. Let me see. I'm going to try to find the screenshot. Yeah, here it is. And Fauci are all in on this coronavirus task force. Vice President Pence, Deborah Birx, and Anthony Fauci, linked with the CDC. And she goes through this whole thing about this circle of fraud with Yovanovitch and George Soros, and links it all together, and it all goes back to the CDC, and it's just one convoluted mess of garbage. But then, and Polly, if you're listening to me, I do not understand how you can still back Trump when his whole cabinet is full of corrupt people. And here's the Q mantra that I can't even stand. I wasn't even going to go off on this Q mantra. You guys want me to talk for a minute or two about Q? Am I still online? What the heck happened? Does it keep going off or something? Oh, shoot. Streamed 5 minutes ago. It broke the stream. Let's see. Am I still on, guys? Let's see here. It says I'm still on, but then this screen says I'm not on. Chat is closed. Find another stream. Can you guys hear me? I don't know what's happening, guys. I'm back. See, here's the deal. It ends my chat and then creates a separate chat and then starts another chat. So if I'll have 1,000, 1,200 people in a room, now my chat has to start over. It's messed up, man. My computer, Dustin says that my computer had coronavirus. Well, maybe the government can save it. All right, you can hear me. So anyway, just long story short, what I asked before I went down, it's amazing how it went down right then. Do you guys want me to speak a minute or two about Q? I wasn't planning on doing that. I was just planning on zipping through this CNN thing. But since I brought up the amazing Polly, who seems to be taken in by Q, and she seems like a really nice lady, guys. I don't have anything bad to say about her. Here's the deal with Q. Q is saying trust the plan. And the plan is there are good guys in government that are going to weed out the bad guys in government. The deep state is all against Trump, even though Trump is loading his administration and his cabinet with who Amazing Polly identifies as potential deep state operatives like Mike Pence, Deborah Birx, Anthony Fauci in cahoots with Yovanovitch, who's in cahoots with Soros. Which is all in line with Event 21 and bringing all this garbage online. So what I don't understand is how you can continue to give Trump a pass, and I'm talking to primarily Amazing Polly and people who are taken in by Q, when Trump is foisting on Americans. Trump is his own person too. Now you could say the deep state has him over a barrel or whatever. He's threatening his family or, whatever's happening. But you don't give Obama a pass for doing the exact same things Trump did. For example, stacking, the Treasury with Timothy Geithner. Well, what does Trump do? He stacks the Treasury with a Goldman Sachs operative. A Zionist international banking operative is the head of the Treasury, Steve Mnuchin, or a warmonger like Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, and just stacking them high and deep. I think part of the psychopathy of Q and the trust the plan crowd and people who go along with that is they have this hope. And because I believe that, it totally looks like Q is a CIA operation to try to get right-wingers or conservatives or whatever to continue trusting in government, which is a zero-sum game, guys. All you have to do is look in history. Those who have trusted in their governments, it's always gone bad for them. It costs you your rights, it costs you your money, and it eventually costs you your life. Don't ever trust somebody who says trust the government. There are good guys in government weeding out the bad guys in government. They all look like bad guys. Trump's the one who signed the $1.37 trillion federal budget this year. 25 million of which goes to the CDC to study, and that's just a small sliver, but it goes to the CDC to examine gun violence, so they can come up with more policies to protect people under the auspices of protecting people from the gun violence as they transgress the Second Amendment. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, guys. Increasing the coffers of the military-industrial complex by 5.3%. Obama didn't even do that. He's outdoing Obama. Drone bomb ya. Can you imagine that? On course for getting us deeper and deeper into transgenerational debt slavery than Obama did? Dropping more bombs than Obama did? Siding with bankers like Obama did? But all of a sudden, Trump is playing 5D underwater triple-decker somersault chess. How does that work? How do you give people a pass who are doing that which is evil? You don't understand. He's working against so many dark and evil forces. The deep state is against him, and the roots are deep, and it's hard to pull it out. And just wait, there are 45,000 sealed in documents, and pedophiles are about to go down, and it's always breadcrumbs that are leading you. Just wait. It's 2 more weeks, and it'll come out. Look at all the people that have already Where? Epstein got out scot-free. Why? Because Alex Acosta, who was appointed by Trump, kind of let him off the hook. Whoa, really? There's all these links to Trump and just absolute abject corruption. How about Wilbur Ross? Wilbur Ross worked for the Rothschilds, Inc. Literally, guys. I'm not writing this script. It wrote itself. Wilbur Ross, Zionist, preeminent Zionist, who's in Trump's cabinet now, by the way, bailed Trump out with the Taj Mahal thing to the tune of billions of dollars. I can't remember how many. It's a high number. So Trump is beholden to a guy who used to be employed with Rothschild's Inc. And you're going to give Trump a pass on that? No, he's just a deep state operative. It's like he can do no wrong. He could shoot your mother, and it's like, you don't understand. He's got a plan. He shot my mother for a reason. He could walk in and kick your dog across the room, and your dog just hemorrhages right there. He had to have kicked the dog right there because he knew the CIA was put a bomb inside of him, and he's trying to save me. They're going to come up with some crazy excuse. Kill Your Television says Q is like religion, just having hope and faith in something you don't even see. Actually, it's more than having hope and faith in something you don't see. It's having hope and faith in spite of the things you do see. I can itemize objective things that Trump is doing that Obama used to do, that Obama got condemned for and Trump gets given slack for. That's the problem I have with Q. And it's all objective. You don't have to make things up. You don't have to pretend that, oh my God, just right around the corner, there's 45,000 high-level government agents who are going to get taken down by Trump in a pedophile ring. It's like, what? It hasn't happened yet. Ivanka dated Nate Rothschild before she married Jared, and they're both just complete Zion. Guys, Zionism is taking over America. And Trump is a premier Zionist. And yet somehow he's working for the people. Nah, it ain't make America great again. It's make Israel great again. All right, here we go. Back to this. So I said all that to say, Amazing Polly did a really good job on this video right here. I'll try to leave a link. Matter of fact, let me put the link right here. You know, I promote this kind of stuff because she spoke a lot of truth, but she fizzled at the very end, man. At the very end, it's like, oh, but give Trump slack. You know what? Let me just talk to all you Christians. There's a verse in the Bible that says, "He who walks with the wise will be wise, but a companion of fools will be destroyed." He who walks with the wise will be wise, but a companion of fools will be destroyed. So let's say everybody around Trump, everybody in his cabinet, who Trump appointed, by the way, are abject fools. Well, that means, according to that Bible verse, Trump's also a fool. And even more foolish because he's the one who appointed them as his circle of friends. See, I lose a lot of watchers when I start saying this because people are so in the James Jones. That's why I pulled this up right here. Jim Jones, the People's Temple in Jonestown, with the Jonestown Massacre. I was looking this thing up. And people just drinking that Kool-Aid and taking that. Jim Jones could do no wrong. This is cult of personality level stuff when you get to people who are just letting Trump slide on everything, guys. Trump oversaw this whole coronavirus thing. If you were president, wouldn't you issue an executive order and say you can go to work? I don't care what your governors are saying. Yeah, I know that would be completely against the 10th Amendment, but by God, that'd be a good use of your power, wouldn't it? Saying, go back to work. I don't care what your mayor said. I don't care what your governor said. You guys are sitting there at your kitchen table wondering what you're going to do, how you're going to put food on the table, how you're going to get your family through this whole thing. Your businesses are going broke. We're only going to give you $1,200. They're trying to rip you off. The Federal Reserve is freaking in control of the stimulus package, $2 trillion. Give me a break. They're trying to hyperinflate this bubble. See, that's another thing about Trump. He rightly condemned Obama for all the stimulus, the quantitative easing 1, 2, and 3. Trump said it was wrong, and he was right. Quantitative easing is wrong. It's money printing. It's a creation of mountains of debt, and you and I pay for it. Trump said it was wrong. Trump said lower the interest rate. It's just trying to make Obama popular so he can get elected again. Trump was right. And then what does Trump do when he gets into the office as president of the United States? He turns right around and does the exact same thing he condemned Obama for. He was right in condemning Obama for doing that. But because he's a Zionist banking shill, he had to do that. He loves Zionism and hates America. Guys, only somebody who hates America could force Americans to not go into work and not do their jobs and not open their businesses. Only a psychopathic, parasitic tyrant would do that. And if you were, and you know good and well, if you were president of the United States, you would issue an executive order saying, no, you guys are free. This is supposed to be the land of the free, home of the brave. I'm in your corner. Go back to your businesses. Go start making money. This COVID-19 thing, it's nonsense anyway. Look, even the UK says it. Look at this. And you don't even need the UK. You already know that the government lies. Trump would be like, hey, look, I'm not part of the government. You know, people are always saying, well, Trump's not a politician. He's a businessman. You got to understand, he's totally different than any other politician. Then why is he acting like one? If it acts like a politician, walks like a politician, talks like a politician, and lies constantly, incessantly, I don't know. I think this guy lies more than Hillary. We know Hillary is a freaking lying. The Clintonians are the M word, M-U-R, you know, red rum backwards. Trump can't even can't even not lie. And you Christians, I just don't even understand it. Isn't there a commandment that says something like, you know, you shall not lie or something like that? I don't know, close to it. Don't defraud your neighbor. The guy's constantly lying and defrauding it. He'll lie about his own lie that he just lied 2 minutes ago. Amazing that people are on the Trump train. It blows my mind. Blows my mind. And then what's so funny is people will say, you never say anything bad about Trump. It's like, I got shirts against Trump in my shirt store. It's obvious. And it's not that I have a beef with Trump. It's that he's a politician. No, he's not. He's a businessman. Okay, he's a businessman who's acting like a politician. What's the difference? The bottom line is, at the end of the day, we have less freedoms and less money. The bottom line is, at the end of the day, the transgenerational debt slavery train has increased by boxcar loads. At the end of the day, the military-industrial complex is beefed up and nothing was done about the drug war. At the end of the day, you're less frickin' free. And how does that make America great again? So if you were president, would you not issue an executive order saying, you know, this is a real simple executive order, just a couple words, screw you governors, screw you mayors who are closing these businesses, let the people work. If you have a weakened immune system, don't go in. Don't be around older people. But that's the same way. You don't need a coronavirus to tell you that. If you've got the flu, you don't visit the grandparents. If you've got coronavirus, you cough into your sleeve, or you just don't make that trip. You know, it's common sense stuff. So Amazing Polly did a really good job exposing Trump's cabinet, which equals exposing Trump, but she still gives Trump a pass. But I'm still going to drop this link. I already did, but I'm going to do it again because it's worth watching. You know, let's get Amazing Polly on a live stream. Who would want to see that? I actually, she's a likable lady. You know, she's got a real gentle kind of a spirit, and she looks like she's a really good researcher. But I'm just sitting here scratching my head going, how could somebody be so taken in by that? Thanks, Anonymous. Okay, it's just go to this here, let's just do it live. Go to this link right here and just blitz her with comments and say, hey, go on High Impact Vlogs show. He's got questions for you. I got nothing against her. I'm not going to blast her. I just have questions, you know. Question number 1. How can Trump be making America great again when he puts some freaking snake? He looks like a snake. I mean, I don't usually go after people's looks, but Steve Mnuchin looks kind of... Okay, I'm done. I'm done with that. Let's just go by Steve Mnuchin's track record. He's a lifer for Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs almost brought us down with the Lehman Brothers and all that crap in 2008. Goldman Sachs was the reason we did the TARP bailout, $700 billion. Yeah, they're all snakes, says Inky. I just don't like to go over some. Yeah, they're vampires. They're parasitic vampires. So go to Amazing Polly's video. I think she did a fantastic, seemed to me well-researched job. I looked at some of the documents she put up, and she followed the logic trail, but somehow logic leaves her when it comes to, okay, now let's go all the way. Talk about Trump, how he's an imposter, how he claims to be for the people, but he's not. Let's get on the right track of freedom, but it just, like, there's this barrier. Let's get back to Breonna Keeler and the Communist Corona Network.
Now with me now is
all
Carly.
Right, this is what I wanted to do this live stream for. Listen to this.
Drinkwater. She moved to Italy.
Yeah, see, Steve, I don't want to call her a shill. I don't know, because a shill means okay, if I call somebody a shill, that means I'm saying I know she's being paid to do this. What if she's just mistaken? What if she really, I believe there's a lot of people who believe Q out there who are they genuinely believe Q. They're not out there to just grind an axe. They're really deceived about this. So I really, if I ever call somebody a shill, I've got to know it. I got to know who's paying. Because the concept of the shill is, let's take an auction house, okay? There's a whole crowd of people in there, and the shill is actually working for the auctioneer. So he's bidding up the prices for the auctioneer against the people because it's fake. It's all fake. So somebody says $50 for that lamp, and the shill goes $60. Okay, it's $50 for the lamp, and the auctioneer goes, okay, going once. Going twice, and there's this queue for the queue, QUE. There's a queue for the shill in the crowd that says when I say going twice, and then the shill holds up $60. Okay, 60. Do I hear 60? In the hopes of bidding that lamp up, and people are like, oh, he must know something about that lamp. Okay, 65. So the shill is being paid by the auctioneer. And he's working for the auctioneer, and by extension, he's working against everyone in the crowd. So if I call somebody a shill, I better dang well know that they're a shill, who they're getting paid by, and what the objective is. And with Amazing Polly, I don't think she's a shill. I mean, she could be, but I just don't know. But I do know that she's sounding the voice of she's engaging in the deception of the moment. Let's just put it that way. She's propagating deception, and she may be doing it, I don't know. I'm just going to stop because I'm at the end of my knowledge with that, and I just don't want to propagate falsehoods about anybody. I still believe in people. This lady right here, she's for Q, she's for Trump. People aren't beyond hope. We were all statists at one time. We all believed, it's stream offline. Shoot. All right. Am I back on? Shoot. I don't know what's happening, guys. It says I'm connected on my internet. All right. Let's just go ahead. Let's finish it. Thank you guys for sticking with me. 776 people stayed around. Thanks for being patient. Here we go.
Just 6 months ago to become a teacher there. She is now using a blog to chronicle what has just been an unprecedented experience. Carly, welcome. Thank you so much for talking to us. And what's it like to be in Italy right now?
Thank you for having me. It's really surreal to be here at the moment. It's not normal life by any...
Yeah, we're live, Joe Cool. What's up? What's up, Joe Cool? Everybody say hi to Joe. What's up, John Craven? Did anybody get this chick's name? Her name is what? Her last name is Drinkwater. Listen, I'm just gonna start it over because that live stream broke, and I want you to hear this whole thing. Guys, stick around because it's very well worth it. Watch Brianna Keeler and by extension CNN's corporate oligarchy, whatever. Get this woman right here to. Am I on? Okay. Shoot. Let me refresh this. Yeah, I think her name's Drinkwater. It's something to that effect. Yeah, listen, here we go.
Now with me now is Carly.
Shoot, is it off again? Guys, is it off or on? Okay, I'm on. All right, here we go.
Now with me now is Carly Drinkwater. She moved to Italy just 6 months ago to become a teacher there. She is now using a blog to chronicle what has just been an unprecedented experience. Carly, welcome. Thank you so much for talking to us. And what's it like to be in Italy right now?
Thank you for having me. It's really surreal to be here at the moment. It's not normal life by any stretch. We're effectively under house arrest. We're like prisoners now. We have to be inside all the time. The only time we can leave the house is to buy food from the supermarket or go to the pharmacy because those are essential needs. But that's not done freely either. You have to take ID. You have to take a self-declaration form, and it has to be signed with all your personal information, and you have to specifically write why you are going to the place you're going to. So, for example, if you want to buy the weekly shop, you have to write, I am going to buy food. And it can't be used as an excuse either. You're not allowed to go and just buy a pint of milk as an excuse to get some fresh air, you are checked that you are actually buying food to last you for a few days.
Okay, so did you get that? If you go outside of your house, you have to have this piece of paper signed by you, and then they verify what you're doing by your activities, where if you go in to the supermarket, you don't just get a quart of milk like she was saying, that it's all verified. This is literal lockdown. You saw what that other politician said. You don't need to be out there buying gas because you ain't going nowhere. You can't play ping pong, and we're going to send enforcers loaded with blow torches. Amazing. Amazing stuff. Now listen to this.
That's very interesting. They're verifying it. So I know this is difficult. The idea that people aren't able to go outside and get activity, especially if they live in small apartments. But does it make sense to you? Does it seem appropriate?
Okay. Does it make sense? Does this level of tyranny seem appropriate to you? What do you think her answer is?
Unfortunately, it does seem appropriate because we're yet to see the effects of all these containment measures. The cases just keep rising and rising. And now that we're at almost 70,000, it's just exponential.
By the way, does anybody trust the government's numbers? How do we know they're not just throwing in regular influenza viruses? You don't see those test results come back. They go, oh yeah, you tested positive. Well, how do we know? How do we know it didn't go to a special lab and they go, yeah, this person has this, but it's really influenza? We don't know. We don't know how many of those deaths they're throwing into the COVID-19 category either. We don't know any of this stuff. We're basically relegated to taking mainstream media and government's word for it. And we know that their proven track record is that they do nothing but lie and twist the truth. Whatever kernel of truth that there would be there, it's mutated and it's twisted and it's smashed, and they bend it to their will and they put their spin on it because they got an agenda.
And it's so painful and hard to be in this situation, to be trapped like this. Even my fiance's parents are a 5-minute walk away, and we haven't seen them in weeks because we are.
But we're going to suck it up and we're going to do what they tell us because we're scared to frickin' death.
Are adhering to this decree. When the national lockdown was announced, people still went out on a walk. They still went out on a run or a cycle because we were allowed to, I suppose. But of course, that did not work. So now we have been clamped down to this particular state, and we're just hoping that we'll start to see the cases drop and the fruits of our labor reaped.
The fruits,
Carly, what would
fruits of your labor? What fruits of your labor? The fruits of being submissive little wallflowers? Yeah, do whatever you want to. Do whatever you want to me, government. We know that you're here to keep us safe. It's ridiculous. I'm trying to open up. Oh, wow. Did they? Let's see. All right.
Say to Americans who are a few weeks behind you, who are really getting tired of some of these measures and they're not nearly as strict as the ones you're under, what would you say to them?
I would say do what we are doing now. We didn't know that it could get this bad.
And that's why I titled this video what I did. What would you say to Americans? I know this is tough for you, but what would you say to Americans? I would say do what we did. Just roll over. Just suck it up. That's why I started the last live stream like I did. This should be all one live stream, but it broke up. That's why I started the other live stream being ridiculous, going, Mom always told me that I need to obey the psychopathic political puppets, the parasitic puppets, and ever since that day, I do what I'm told. When they tell me to go somewhere, I go. They tell me to pay something, I pay. They tell me I'm in danger, I say, please, God, called government, please save me. That's why I did that ridiculous little intro like that, because she's saying, do what we did and you'll be safe. Trust your government. Trust what they're telling you on your television sets. They will never steer you wrong. Amazing, amazing, amazing. This is trauma-based what? Psychological operations. People are being traumatized in their brains going, oh my God, we're going to die. Even while the CDC is saying the likelihood of people dying, it's nil. Even in the face of that, they're still scared. People will literally starve to death than stand up for their rights. Amazing. You know the social engineers are going, let's just see how far we can push them. Let's just Okay, on Saturday, let's just make the declaration of you can't even go out of your house to buy groceries. Let's just see if they obey. Amazing.
This fast, but you can see what's happening in Italy. You can see how quickly the cases are rising, how quickly the death toll is climbing. There is no point to keep going out and
No, you don't. You don't see how high the death toll is climbing. You don't see it. Let me show you something. All this stuff I wasn't planning on doing. Let me see. Let me show you. Oh man, I should have all this set up. Let's see, community. Look at this. I did a little survey the other day. Can you see this? Yeah, I did a little survey the other day. And I said, do you personally know anyone who has tested positive for CV? I'm talking about first-hand knowledge, not somebody you know who knows somebody else, that you definitely know a person who's close to you who absolutely positively tested positive for CV. 8% of you said you have direct knowledge. 92% of you said, I don't personally know anyone who's positive. There's 2.1 thousand comments. It got 3.4 thousand likes, and there's 19,000 votes, guys. 92% of people don't know anybody who personally has tested positive. And I would say that this direct knowledge category, they only told you that the person you know tested positive. You don't know that for sure. You cannot stake your life on anybody testing positive for it. Unless you took the test yourself, you know how to read the indicators on the test, or you've seen this thing in the microscope. This could be could be YouTube. I'm just saying. Well, let me just say with the UK, the United Kingdom government says the Advisory Committee on Dangerous Pathogens is also the opinion that COVID-19 should no longer be classified as an HCID, a high consequence infectious disease. And yet they're going to continue with their martial law? They already let the cat out of the bag.
Congregating, the social distancing, loose measures of keeping 2 or 1 meter apart, it's not working. Stay inside, save people you love, save your grandparents, save people who maybe are even younger, but they have underlying health conditions. We are at breaking point here. Just stop and contain now.
See, that's the other edge of this propaganda sword, guys. It swings both ways. It's a catch-22. It's like, okay, if I disobey the government and just do what I always did and open my business and just disregard what the government says because the government's always lying and the mainstream media is always lying, well, then the 90% of the brain-dead lemmings who listen to mainstream media are going to think I'm a bad guy, and then I'm going to get socially shamed, and people are going to think that I'm putting public health in jeopardy. It is a catch-22. We're in a tight spot. And the reason we're in a tight spot and the reason we can't rise up and do something is, and somebody gave me an idea. I got so many things going through my mind, so many videos I wanted to make, and so much stuff to say. The reason we don't rise up is because of Breonna Keeler and the communist coronavirus news network and Rachel Madcow from MSLSD and the people on faux news propagating this crap, scaring the crap out of people. The reason and Fox News getting up there saying how great this freaking stimulus package is and how much it's going to help American people and boost the economy, and just giving a wink and a nod and a hat tip to the Federal Reserve and not saying anything about those moronic, corrupt psychopaths, gangsters. We're ruled by gangsters. The reason we can't get together and do this is, it's like I talked to that business owner from that restaurant in my town the other day. I'm going to leave it on this right here just to remind people that the status of COVID-19 has been taken down a notch or two. They don't even believe it's a highly consequential infectious disease. I talked to this guy in my town the other day who has a restaurant, and I said, why don't you and all the other shop owners get together and just stand up against the mayor and say, screw it, we're open for business. And this is a free country, and if people think they're going to be infected, they don't need to come in, but other people do. Most of the people I talk to in my town, they're not buying it. I talked to a guy at the post office the other day who's, behind the counter, and he's like, this is a bunch of BS, man. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what people are thinking, believe in this stuff. So it's good to see those little sparks of sanity, but nobody's willing to move and do anything because they're scared of being socially distanced by everybody else. There are businesses in town who stay that one business that I know of where people are talking bad about them on their Facebook page saying, I can't believe you're putting public health in jeopardy. So it's a tight spot, man. It really is. Especially when you're among zombies and you're expecting other people not to eat other people's brains when that's what zombies do. It's kind of a tough spot. I'm gonna read some super chats real quick because I'm sorry I missed a whole bunch of them, guys, while I was talking and reading. Sir Budrick says Bloomberg 99% of Italy's dead had pre-existing conditions. That's another thing. Yeah. I don't know if it was 99%, but it was a super high percentage that I saw in several reports, even issued by mainstream media. God, what was it, like 81? Babe, what was that? 81% had 3 pre-existing. No, it was the average age was 81 and up. And those people had at least 3 pre-existing conditions. And then when you went down to the 60-year-old range, they had at least 2 pre-existing conditions. So they already had a position. They were already in a position where their immunity was probably severely compromised. But then they're going to penalize everybody else because certain members of society have weakened immune system. I sympathize with anybody who has an immune system that's weakened. That sucks. But the answer is not to penalize everybody else who has a strong immune system. Most people can, from the data that I've seen that's even coming out of mainstream media, most people who come in contact with COVID-19 will not suffer ill effects from COVID-19. To the point where some people being exposed to it won't even get it. Other people who are exposed to it will get the virus, but they'll be asymptomatic and they'll shed the virus, they say. Although I'm not even, school's out on that too. In some sense, what I just said was just parroting what mainstream media says. That's always a mistake. Yeah, Italy's dead, pre-existing conditions. Yeah, good point. Aussie Matt says, I'm hearing here that they have UN troops here. Haven't seen anything yet, but looking into it. Yeah, Aussie Matt TV's got a channel that he's started. Check out his channel. I appreciate that, Aussie. Yeah, keep your eyes on the ground for us over there, man. Roll that video camera. Tell us what you see. Give us your, unbiased view of what's going on there. Alf Dinar, diversion from refugee crisis. Bacchus Shamil, YouTube censorship. Zen Master Me, thank you. Merry Christmas 2.0. I'm going to read it because you put it, repent and be baptized in Jesus' name. There's a lot of people who don't believe that. I might make some, I'm not going to get into that can of worms. The one Jameson Nelson, thanks, man. Paul Revere said, I was thinking about Paul Revere yesterday, riding through going, the British are coming, the British are coming. We don't have to ride through anywhere on a horse to say the British are coming. They're already here. And there's British sympathizers on American soil who aren't going to pick up a musket and do anything to protect anybody's freedoms. Paul Revere, essential workers have largely already been provided letters on letterhead verifying said person is an essential worker, nature and location of work. Yeah, and isn't it, hashtag stay strapped, and isn't it interesting that what they call is essential are usually government related or government run operations? Or food or grocery stores or big pharma. Of course, we got to keep big pharma open. And I understand there's a lot of people that are dependent on those pharma drugs, and if they don't take them, they'll die. It's kind of like being on meth. If you automatically cut it out, you could get withdrawals, and the withdrawals could kill you. So you got to wean people off of it. It's just a sad, pitiful catch-22 situation we're all in. Craven Leestat says she is a fraud. Who is a fraud? Are you talking about Amazing Polly? Well, she definitely propagates fraudulent stuff when you say that, Trump is playing 5D chess and Q is right and trust the plan and there are good guys in government. Weeding out the deep state bad guys in government. Yeah, that's definitely fraudulent stuff. I agree. All right, guys. That's what I wanted to show you. Basically, the Communist News Network, the Corona News Network wants you to be on house arrest and lockdown like they are in Italy because Miss Drinkwater says so. That's what her name is. Something Drinkwater. Drinkwater's a fraud, says Craven. She definitely propagated fraudulent stuff. Yeah, KY Brown says, I do like Polly, but I'm not on the Q train. I think she's a likable person too, man. I think Amazing Polly is probably an amazing person. It's just she's misguided. And, you know, I don't say that from a place of, look how great I am. You know, I've got my flaws. If I say an error here on the channel, you guys usually jump on me. And, you know, I'd like to think I'm correctable. You know, we all have our biases and we all have our problems. And we all have statist garbage that we still need to dump out of our heads, you know? So I think it would behoove us all, for the sake of the human race, to cut ourselves some slack, not be acidic toward people, caustic, start just talking down to people, but, you know, call it like it is. Trump is a Zionist shill in the back pocket of Rothschild Zionism. Wilbur Ross, I mean, objectively, this isn't just something I'm making up. Wilbur Ross was an employee, probably still is, of Rothschild's Inc. And during that time, he bailed out Donald Trump. Donald Trump is beholden to the Zionist international bankers. The Zionist international bankers are what's causing the plandemic right now. They said so in their own documentation. I showed that to you on the Market Watch thing. The Fed chairman of the St. Louis branch said this is a planned economic downturn. It's planned. Trust the plandemic, says America. America died. America died 1913. That's his name. America died 1913. No truer words have been spoken on this broadcast. That's when we died. Amschel Rothschild said, give me control over a nation's money, and I don't give a damn who makes its laws. I'm in control if I control the nation's money. And we just turned over the reins of, if you want to talk about reins of power, turn over the entire economic system, the entire national currency over to the Federal Reserve, you're doomed. Nothing. You know, that's why we can't have nice things. When you have something like this sitting in your closet or in your wallet or in your bank account or under your mattress, they can steal that value from you through the hidden tax called inflation. That's power, man. You earned it. It's really nothing. It's a construct of the mind. But they siphon value. They're in such control, guys. They pump trillions and trillions of dollars into paper trading for gold and silver, and they suppress that to the point where silver is $13 an ounce. You got to be kidding me. In the midst of all this quantitative easing and money printing, silver, you're going to tell me that the real value of silver is only $13? That's what you should be doing with your fake fiat currency notes, is trade this toilet paper for real value. I mean, I'm not giving you that directive because I'm not a financial advisor, but that's what I would do. I would take toilet paper and trade it for gold or silver if I had a chance, when I have a window of opportunity. Just let's see if do I still have this link up here? Yeah, this is Amazing Polly's video, which she did a good job on it. Well, it looked like it was well researched to me. I don't agree with her Trump mantra stuff, though. Let her know in the comment section that I would like to go do a live stream with her. I'm not gonna, it's not mean spirit. It's just get to the bottom of the truth. All right, 43 minutes, and then, guys, please share this video with everybody you know. And let me just say one more word about where is it? Yeah, a lot of people have been asking me about this, guys. If you aren't stocked up, if you don't have a supply of food, a store of food, it's not too late, but they are backlogged right now. It's going to be www.preparewithhighimpactflix.com. I'll leave the link in the description, but you can get a 4-week supply here. Get $100 off. It's $197. It's each day's supply is 2,000 calories a day. It lasts for 25 years. So if you never use it, you got it. Take it out camping or whatever, but it's better to have it, not need it, than need it, not have it. And it might take you a while to get it, but it's like they're 8 to 12 weeks backlogged right now, but it's definitely worth it. So I'll leave that link in the description below. Please share this video, guys. My goal on this channel is to set brush fires of freedom in the minds of men. The only way you're going to be free is if my mind is free. The only way I'm going to be free is if your mind is free. And then if we all work together and stand against tyranny, that's the only way we're going to win. I'll see you guys in the next Heavily Censored.